Could you guys do me a favor?
Anything.
Could at least one of you look like you're gonna see me again?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most tragic moments of Criminal Minds SSA Spencer Reid. Beware, spoilers ahead for all 15 seasons.
Reid will figure this out. He's really amazing at this kind of thing.
Number 10, losing unsubs he tries to save. Various. In Criminal Minds, SSA Spencer Reid often sees parts of himself in young victims and unsubs, which is why some cases really stick with him.
Dr. Reid.
So, do I know you?
I just know what you do.
In Season 2, a teen named Nathan Harris approached him for help understanding his violent urges and later attempted to take his own life. Reid especially related to Season 3's Owen Savage, a spree killer seeking vengeance after years of being tormented at school and home. Season 4's serial killer Adam Jackson developed a dissociative identity disorder as a kid to cope with his stepfather's abuse. In the end, Adam's alter ego Amanda takes over his life.
How long will you keep visiting me in here?
Until I find Adam.
Reid is an empathetic profiler who does all he can, often breaking the rules to save lives. Unfortunately, it doesn't always turn out as planned.
I'm just waiting for you to do the right thing.
Well, I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a very long time.
Number 9, confronting his past, the instincts, and memoriam. While the BAU works on a missing child's case in Spencer Reid's hometown of Las Vegas, Nevada, he's plagued by a recurring nightmare about a boy.
Get him off! Morgan, get him off me! Reid, wake up. It's Morgan.
He learns that the boy was a real victim named Riley Jenkins and connects the murder to his estranged father, William, who left him and his mother, Diana, when he was young.
You're weak.
You're right. Goodbye.
Fueled by resentment for abandoning them, Reid pursues him as the number 1 suspect. But in solving the case, he discovers something else entirely.
You should go now.
What are you going to do?
Go home, Diana.
Diana sensed a man, Gary Brendan Michaels, was preying on her son and told Riley's father Lou, who murdered Michaels. Between the trauma of his parents' divorce and their involvement in covering up a crime, this was a lot for Reid to handle. Number 8, the death of Emily Prentice, Lauren. The BAU is a tight-knit group of colleagues who are more like family, so it's painful when one of them leaves. Spencer Reid took it especially hard when Jason Gideon and Derek Morgan eventually moved on from the team.
I know you hate goodbyes, kid. And change. Hey, it isn't always a bad thing.
And in Season 6, he mourns another close friend, SSA Emily Prentice. Her past work as a spy for Interpol comes back to haunt her in the form of Ian Doyle. The international arms dealer threatens the BAU, leading Prentice to face him alone. When she's taken to the hospital, Hotch and JJ lie, saying she didn't survive her injuries.
She never made it off the table. Spence.
Prentice was alive and in hiding for nearly a year, during which time Reid was consoled by JJ and struggled with his sobriety.
I came to your house for 10 weeks in a row crying over losing a friend, and not once did you have the decency to tell me the truth.
I couldn't.
You couldn't? Or you wouldn't?
No, I couldn't.
What if I started taking Dilaudid again? Would you have let me?
Thankfully, she returns. Number 7, shot and almost killed in the hospital. Angels and Demons. Unfortunately for Spencer Reid, he's injured on the job a lot, like getting shot in the leg in Season 5. However, Season 9's 2-part finale puts him in an even scarier situation that had fans on edge.
Hey, you're doing great, all right? Yeah, you gotta stay right here, okay? Eyes on me.
While investigating a string of murders in Texas, the BAU and local law enforcement get into a shootout with Justin Mills, a trafficker thought to be a serial killer. Caught in the crossfire, Reid tries to protect Dr. Alex Blake, but takes a bullet in the neck.
You gotta help him, man. Kid, come on now. Stay with me. I'm right here.
He's rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Luckily, he pulls through and wakes up to Penelope Garcia by his side, who ends up saving him from another attempt on his life.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard that. That makes it better. Thank you for saying that.
Thank you for doing it.
Number 6, his mum's illness. Various. Before he was born, Spencer's mother, Diana Reid, a former literature professor, was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia.
My mother's a paranoid schizophrenic who'd forget to eat if she wasn't properly medicated and supervised.
Having been abandoned by his father years before, an 18-year-old Spencer had to make the agonizing decision to send her to a facility for proper care. In season 6, he starts to experience severe migraines and fears that he could have symptoms of schizophrenia, which can be genetically passed.
I have terrible headaches. I can't sleep at night. I can't focus on our cases. I only read 5 books last week.
Although that turns out not to be the case, things get worse in season 11, when Diana is diagnosed with early onset dementia. Spencer's pain and helplessness while trying to calm her during a schizophrenic episode is heart-wrenching to watch. Mother and son go through many ups and downs related to her illness, but still have a touching relationship.
I write her letters so I won't feel so guilty about not visiting her.
Number 5, nearly killed by a cult. 300. Reid has found himself held captive many times, often with one of his teammates.
Nice shot. I was aiming for his leg.
On 2 occasions, season 1's situation with Hotch and this season 14 situation with JJ, he had to take out the unsub himself. In season 4, Reid and Prentice go undercover as child services to infiltrate a Colorado compound inhabited by the Separatarian sect.
Which one of you is the FBI agent?
Why do you think one of us is an FBI agent?
When a raid gone wrong leads to a standoff, cult leader Benjamin Cyrus holds them hostage. While they both survive that harrowing incident, former members of the sect, now a part of the Believers, appear 10 seasons later, blaming the BAU for Cyrus's death and the subsequent disbandment.
She blames me for Cyrus's death.
She has to blame someone. Grief consumes her without it.
Reid is taken by leader Benjamin David Merver and almost sacrificed, but is saved by his heroic team. Number 4, exposed to anthrax. Amplification. One of Reid's most heroic moments comes in season 4, when the BAU faces the possibility of a widespread deadly strain of bacteria.
Morgan, how's Reid?
There's white powder in the room and the air was blasting.
Reid and Morgan search the home lab of their prime suspect, scientist Dr. Lawrence Nichols. However, Reid enters the lab alone and finds a broken tube of anthrax spores. He locks Morgan out to keep him from exposure.
What's wrong? Reid, open the door.
I'm sorry.
With his life on the line, Reid continues to work the case and manages to find the real unsub, PhD student Chad Brown, along with a cure for the strain. We're used to seeing him in peril, but hearing his heartfelt message to his mum and watching his symptoms worsen was painful.
Hi, Mom. This is Spencer. I just really want you to know that I love you.
However, the ever-resilient Dr. Reid miraculously survived to fight another day. Number 3, witnessing Maeve's death. Zugzwang.
But if you've got somebody new in your life to talk to, I'd just like to know who she is. Because she's got to be one hell of a woman to keep up with you.
Unlike other characters, Dr. Spencer Reid wasn't one to cycle through love interests. That changed in season 8 when we learned he had a long-distance love, Maeve Donovan, a geneticist who helped with his severe migraines. Sadly, the nerdy couple was doomed from the start. With Maeve hiding from a stalker, the two only speak over the phone.
Guess I'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye.
Bye. Love you.
When she goes missing, Reid is uncharacteristically unfocused and asks the BAU for help. He doesn't meet Maeve face-to-face until her stalker, Diane Turner, has her at gunpoint and forces Reid to watch as she takes her own life along with Maeve's.
Say it again. This time say it to her face.
Their short-lived romance was crushing for him, as well as the audience. Number 2, framed and imprisoned for murder. The latter half of season 12 saw one of the most shocking storylines in Criminal Minds history, with Spencer Reid at the center of it. He travels to Mexico to obtain experimental medicine for his mother.
Why are you in Mexico?
Because I'm trying to help my mom.
However, he ends up being arrested by local authorities for possession of illegal substances. Later, it's discovered that Reid's contact, Dr. Ramos, is murdered, with evidence pointing to him. Although he's extradited to the US, it's far from the end of his nightmare. In prison, he's attacked, sees a friend killed, and fights to survive.
Stop! Nah. No more orders from you, little man. Maybe we can't get to you, but we can get to your friend.
In the end, it's revealed Kat Adams and Lindsay Vaughn framed him, and as if they didn't put him through enough, they also kidnap his mum and threaten her life.
I'm gonna walk you through a scenario, and your face is gonna tell me how close I am. From the moment I arrested you, you watched and waited for the right time to take your revenge.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Tormented in school, Elephant's Memory. Young Reid had his fair share of trauma too.
They stripped me naked and tied me to a goalpost. So many kids were there, just watching.
Nobody tried to stop him.
I begged them to, but they just watched.
Gideon's Murder, Nelson Sparrow. Reid loses a close friend and mentor twice.
Don't you put up these walls and you block us out, and you can't do that, not right now. We need you, kid.
Meeting Kat Adams, Entropy. The hit woman makes it her mission to ruin Reid's life more than once.
Spencer?
Kat?
Hi.
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 Hello. Hi.
It's nice
Hi.
to finally...
Oh, yeah, sorry, I have a kind of a germ thing.
Brain Injury, Face Off, and In the End. Of course, it's Reid who almost dies in the initial series finale.
We need an ambulance immediately at 937 Hoover Street, apartment 23. We have an agent down. He's breathing.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Tortured by Tobias Hankel, The Big Game and Revelations. Throughout the 15 seasons of Criminal Minds, Spencer Reid really goes through it. But perhaps the most memorable and devastating incident he endured was being captured by an unsub with dissociative identity disorder, DID, in Season 2.
We may have one unsub, suffering from a delusion that he's actually an archangel. Maybe that first phone call was not 2 people, but 1.
The BAU travels to Atlanta, Georgia to investigate multiple murders committed by a killer reporting his own crimes. Reid and JJ go to question a potential witness named Tobias Hankel, who's revealed to be the unsub.
Hi, Mr. Hankel.
Yeah?
He takes Reid to a remote location where his alternate personalities, his late father, and the archangel Raphael punish him for his sins. Tobias, however, dosed him with Dilaudid to ease the pain. This hellish experience left a lasting impact on Reid physically, mentally, and emotionally, including a substance use disorder.
I'm struggling.
Well, anybody who's been through what you've been through recently would.
What do you think is the worst thing to happen to Reid? Let us know in the comments below.
I find that I do some of my best work under intense terror.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.